Coming to Kuching is like a homecoming. Some staff who worked with me way back in 87 when we started the oncology services in Sarawak, and Kuching was for East Malaysia. My first job when I came back from UK was in Sarawak General Hospital. We started an oncology center here, which has grown from strength to strength. Now, I think you all need a new center. That was way back in 1987. So again, good evening to all of you all. Later I catch up with some of my staff who worked with me a long time ago. So my topic today is again regenerative medicine. I think most of my work has been done by the previous two speakers. Tan Sri has given you all a nice rundown. What are stem cells? And Prof. Ng has gone more in details, give you the physiology. If you remember, they all were talking of regenerative medicine. Basically, when you talk of it, it is also linked to aging, healthy aging, not anti-aging. Don't stop. We cannot stop aging. We will get old, but we want to be old in a healthy way. Just like our Tun Mahathir, he's 100. So we all want to be like him, be healthy, at the same time now very active. So we want to be active as we get older, not on the bed. So stem cells is something which my previous two speakers have told you all. What are those? Now, being an oncologist, my more interest is also is there any role of stem cell in oncology? We need to do a lot of studies. Just now our YB said 3+1, hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, obesity. I would like to add is now 3+2 is also cancer. Cancer is becoming very common nowadays. If you see the World Health Organization, 1 in 3 will have cancer, the population. So I start my slide with actually stem cells. What are stem cells? Stem cells are actually, they are spare cells in the body. They are undifferentiated cells. So they are spare cells in the body without any function till required. I give you an example, it's like a car spare tire. A car spare tire, you only use it when you have a puncture. Then you need to take out the spare tire to use it. Same thing with our stem cells. They are spare cells lying in the body. Say suppose as we get older, the stem cells become less and less. For a normal human being, we have about 50 to 200,000 stem cells in our body, actively circulating. And as you get older, the stem cells will become less and less. And also stem cells can be affected by diseases like diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cirrhosis, cancer. So these are diseases where your stem cells can become less. And third one is trauma. Trauma is injury, any injury. So these are stem cells. So they will go only to that part of the body which needs them. Suppose you got liver injury, you got cirrhosis, all the stem cells will go to the liver to help it. If you got lung disease, then the stem cells will try to help you. If you got, say, Parkinson, autoneuron disease, it will go to the neurons to help it. So stem cells will go to any part of the body wherever is required. Otherwise, they remain in our body. So, what are the examples of regenerative medicines? We have stem cells, stem cell therapy. Stem cells can be given in various ways. You'll type stem cells in Google, you'll get 300 stem cells. So you have to be very careful. Now they are producing it everywhere. Just now, I think you saw Prof. Ng, she showed you the 3D tissue engineering, how they can engineer formation of the bone graft in a person who had bone injury, and that person can walk. So this regenerative medicine is very new. We have to do a lot of research before it can be used clinically. Maybe, I don't know how it can help in people with diabetes. We need to do clinical studies. And also in cancer. How useful it is in cancer. We have to do more trials. Because the thing is that it's so expensive. We have facilities like CAR-T, only in lymphomas. Certain cancers can be used. But that facilities available in KL is so expensive, even it's not being used even for patients. So again, what is stem cell therapy? Stem cells is giving you some stem cells. You can give it in oral, in injection, whichever you want, and hopefully you can increase. Now, you see stem cells, if you look there are a bunch of cells just lying there. I'm sorry, this light cannot see. You see, on your left hand side, you can see a stem cell. If you got nerve injury, it will go to the nerve. Let's example, you got Parkinson or Alzheimer's, it will go to the nerves. And if you got a heart attack, all the stem cells, majority will go to your heart, whichever part is damaged, to help it. If you got muscle injury, it will go up and help you in a muscle. You got intestine, it will go to your intestine. So whichever stem cells are spare cells in the body, whichever part requires, it will go there. Okay? And it will become that part of the cells. So if you look at the ear, is a big bunch here, it will go to anyone and it can become any of those cells. Potential diseases that can be treated with stem cells. You see, as I told you, we need a lot of research. You see, stem cells will help in heart disease, stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, respiratory infections, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, diabetes, and also cancer therapy. You see, with the limitations of our medical council and, I think what the East Chinese, now in China, in Japan, in Korea, in Taiwan, what they're doing is they're combining traditional medicine with our Western medicine. I mean, that makes sense. But you need to do some clinical trials. Unfortunately, in China, they are not doing, not many, maybe they're doing trials locally, but not available for us. Because chemotherapy is becoming very expensive. Now, chemotherapy last time used to be very simple. Chemotherapy, you have the drugs, all the chemotherapy drugs, epirubicin, erythromycin, cyclo, 5-fluorouracil, chemotherapy. And now, in modern oncology, you have, first you came with target treatment. Target. That means the cancer cells, the medicine will just go and work at the targeted area. Now, the new one is immunotherapy. So now immunotherapy works just like stem cells. It increases, the antigen goes and then the body will make a lot of antibodies against the cancer cell. So if you look at it, it sounds almost the same, but no studies have been done, and I cannot tell you, I'm not telling you stem cells can replace the proper cancer treatment. What it can do is that it may help together. Because you go to China, most of my patients, when they come back, they have both the proper chemotherapy which being used, and plus they have added their own alternative treatment together. They combine together. By combining together, you can actually decrease the dose of immunotherapy and target treatment, which is very expensive. So we may be able to cut down costs. So, okay, now what are the side effects when you have chemotherapy for cancer cells? What are the side effects you get? So, number one, you lose hair. Then your mouth is sore. And then you get increased chance of infection. And then you get bruising. And you become nauseated, vomiting, loss of fertility. So, every medicine does have side effects. I'm not saying chemotherapy is bad. I'm saying, you don't get me wrong. But the drugs, every drug will have side effects. But the benefits are more than the side effects. So that's why, but maybe if you combine some stem cells together with chemotherapy, the side effects may be less. That's why we need to do more studies. If you don't do studies, you won't know. So again, like I mentioned to you, cancer treatment, immunotherapy, same thing, it works in that way, it increases the immune system. Immunotherapy increases the immune system against that specific cancer. Same cell. If you look at the pathophysiology, you look at the structure, it's same like stem cells. It's just like, you put in a lot of stem cells, you put in more stem cells, it may go to that part of the body which is affected by cancer. We don't know. Like lung cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer. So, we are trying to look how can stem cells actually help in other diseases which my previous Tansari has spoken, Dr. Ng has spoken, and I think we got another two speakers coming up next. So my topic is stem cell therapy, immunotherapy. How can we combine them? How we can combine them? We must look into it. We must work outside the box. Must think outside. Must look at what our neighbors are doing, Korea, China, Japan. And I've seen patients, quite a few of my patients land up going to China. A lot of my patients also land up going to Taiwan. I see them combining both our Western medicine together with their alternative. Combine. I'm not saying don't give Western, don't give chemotherapy. I'm saying you have to give, but you combine together, your results may be better. But we need to do trials. You need to have oncologists who think out of the box. Just now I mentioned to you, we have immunotherapy, we have a lot in the market, but we have CAR-T treatment where we take the patient's blood, harvest the T cells, inject back to the patient. But the process looks very simple, but very expensive. It's about 200 to 300,000 ringgit each time. And you have to do 6 to 12 times. So, I think a lot of our patients cannot afford that much. And number one, Number two, not enough clinical trials done to say this treatment is going to be effective. So at the moment, it is in a very gray area. They only be using it in lymphomas, in leukemias, but not in solid tumors. So now, prospective on stem cell therapy, the future of it, where we go now. We can only go in the future about what we have now, if we have clinical trials or if we start using it in our own way. For the last 1 year, I've been using it. I've been combining both. It's not a clinical trial, individual trial. And I must tell you, I'm getting quite good response. And maybe in a year's time, I'll have a data with me about 57 patients where I've tried both. And maybe next year I come back, I give you all the results. Okay, I think that's all. Okay. At the end of the day, we want patient to benefit. We want patient to get better. It's for the patient's benefit. It's not for our benefit. Patients must benefit. So we must think of ways how we can help patients be treated in a good way with looking at the finance, with limited finances, and not only the very rich can afford, like, we should give treatment where everyone can go for the treatment if we keep the prices reasonable. Okay, with that, I would like to thank you very much. If you got later any questions about, I've spoken more on oncology because I'm an oncologist. I'm not suggesting, but we must look ways how we can combine both, get good results for the patient, for the sake of the patient. Thank you.